So does or can a baby fix a relationship? So you said no, and I said no.
But mine was no, absolutely not. But then also not knowing the context. Because, like, for example, right, if you can see and feel that the relationship is going to shit, as far as like you don't care to try for that person, or you see that the other person doesn't care to try either, then having 1 kid or 2 kids or 3 kids is just gonna make it worse. You know, there still has to be some type of love, some type of I still like you and you still like me, and I still wanna be in this with you and you still wanna be in this with me. In order, and then if a baby does come along, then that could bring the relationship closer together. But as far as like fixing it, like it'll just help bond what you have stronger. But what you already have. But if it's something that you start up that you don't have anymore, then having however many kids, it's not gonna it's not gonna help. It's just, if anything, it's gonna make it worse.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's almost like if it intensifies what you already have in the relationship. So if you have a lot of love for each other already, then a baby comes, then cool, now you have even more love. You have more of that. So I think the opposite is also true. If you don't like each other and you're arguing and you're just not in a good place, deep down you're not in a good place. You can have good days, you can still have good days where you can get along and you can still, like each other at that superficial level. But if deep down you're having a lot of bad days and you just don't click as people, and now you have a baby, it's just going to exacerbate that even more. It's going to intensify that even more. So now your bad days, you still have good days, and you'll have really nice good days because there's a baby around, and who doesn't like a baby? But now those bad days, which you already have been having plenty of, those bad days are going to be really bad days. They're going to be even worse.
And then why bring a third, innocent party into all that crap? Better to just leave them out of it. Try to fix a relationship without a baby. And if it does end up working out, right, cool, but you have to first fix it. You can't expect it, but you can't rely on a baby to fix a relationship.
Yeah. I think just in general, I think it's a bad idea to expect some external thing to fix your internal thing. Like, we have to work at our relationship, so we know that it's good. And then when this other thing comes around, this baby in this case, then it can come into a good relationship because we know that we made it a good relationship. For example, when you say, oh, I have low self-esteem, but I know when I get my car, my self-esteem is gonna go up and that'll fix my self-esteem. That thing will fix my self-esteem, whether it's a car, whether it's a watch, whether it's some kind of superficial materialistic thing. Or it doesn't even have to be materialistic. You could say, oh, I'm gonna buy this book and this book will fix it. This book, has the answer. And maybe it does, but if you don't apply it and you don't internalize it and you don't practice it and you don't believe in it, then it's not gonna work. Like, you can't rely on external things to fix you on the inside. You have to fix you on the inside. So I think it's kind of the same thing. It's like, if we don't have a good relationship, if I don't feel good about myself, then this baby's gonna come into the world and gonna be around somebody that is not just automatically, I'm gonna feel better about myself because I have a baby now. Like, unfortunately, it's just not how that works, or how I believe that to work.
Nowadays, people think that bringing a baby into this world, it's not a big deal. I guess it's now a norm, or it's now very common for people to have a baby in a relationship that's not healthy or that's not working out, and then boom, all of a sudden a baby. And not even because they were trying to have a baby to fix the relationship, but because they didn't take proper precautions. And I get it, there's this happens, or the contraception doesn't work. But if you know that, oh crap, I'm in a shitty relationship, let me not get somebody involved that shouldn't be involved, like a kid, into this. So therefore, I'm gonna take every measure that I can in order to not have that happen. Whether it's like if you don't like the person anymore, why are you still with them? if you feel you guys have a shitty relationship, then get away from that. You know, either talk to the person and be like, hey, we're having a shitty relationship, this isn't working out. I think we should just go our separate ways. Now, it could be like, oh, well, you know, I still love him, and blah, 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 I want to make it work. But okay, but it does take two to have the relationship. So if you see the other person is not putting the effort, call them out for it and see what they have to say. If they have something like, oh, well, yeah, no, yeah, I do want to work on it, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine, well, we could go ahead and try it. But still with that in the back of your head, that like having a kid or even thinking about having a kid or even talking about having a kid, it's like way, like it's not even in, you guys shouldn't even have a conversation topic about having a kid. And like I feel nowadays people don't take that very seriously. People take like, oh yeah, you know, this fool got me pregnant. I mean, you also had something to do with it, you know? So you also got yourself pregnant. You got yourself pregnant and he impregnated you. You just made a dumb decision of being with somebody, whether it's sexually, just because what you wanted sex, sexually just because you were feeling lonely one day or you were feeling horny one day. But now you have consequences, and I need to take responsibility, and you need to take responsibility of your consequences. And I feel like nowadays people don't really are not taking responsibility or don't think of consequences anymore.
Or even worse when they plan to have a kid on purpose, not for like because I want to build a family or because I want to be a mom, but with the
malicious.
Yeah, with the malicious intent of like, I'm gonna trap this guy. You know, I'm gonna do this, or for some kind of external benefit, you know, for some dumb, selfish reason, other than with the purpose of like building a life and building a future for this child. And like, it's crazy that there's people out there that think that way. Like, oh, okay, I'm gonna have this kid so that I can do this, or so I can get this. It's mind-boggling. It's crazy. Don't get yourself, baby. But yeah,
it really sucks. It really sucks that, you know, somebody would be that selfish or that selfish or that so in their head or like so maleficent like that they would use something so innocent, you know, and so defenseless to get at somebody, you know. And it sucks because like women, we're like metaphysically, you know, stronger, you know, of course, but sometimes like us women, we don't understand or we don't comprehend that we are mentally like in a way that we can we can mentally hurt a guy, like deeply, and you know, and it sucks that, you know, some women do use, you know, their kids to hurt a guy, you know, it sucks. And it's sad, and
like on purpose.
Yeah, like on purpose,
actively, as a weapon.
Yeah.
Like, how do you?
It's not right. Like, you have your own issues, you know. Like, like he's a kid addict, you know. Like, so people, I'm gonna get him with like child support, or I'm gonna get him with this, or well, if he doesn't pay child support, you know, I'm not gonna have him see the kid. Like, if he's a good dad, you know, and I mean, like. Like, oh, you know, he's not being a good dad, you know, if he doesn't pay for the kid is not a merchandise. The kid is not a car that you have to maintain. Like, you have to give it love, and you have to give it attention, and you have to, if you throw money at the kid, it's not you know?
It's like they're just like, dumping money on a helpless little baby. Like,
yeah. Like if say, you know, the guy didn't pay, and I think that we're going a little bit off topic, but if the guy didn't pay child support, okay, that's between you and the guy. Like, hey, you didn't pay child support, but I'm not gonna punish the dad if he's a good, you know, dad, meaning like, you know, he plays with him, he gives him attention, you know, the kid loves his dad, and he's like, every time he's like, daddy, you know, blah blah blah. Like, I'm not gonna punish him just because he didn't pay, you know, and then not let him see his kid, or I'm not gonna punish my kid for something adults, you know, decided to do or didn't do, you know. Like, it's not fair.
So even going before the kid, so what about like where you were talking about how a girl won't get out of a relationship, or people don't get out of a relationship, even though there's signs there that they should get out of a relationship. So what if like the stereotypical, oh, but he hits me, but he's a really nice guy. Like you don't know him like I do. What would you say? What would you say to that girl that you see that there's problems in the relationship, and it's obvious that this girl shouldn't be there, but she's like, oh, but he's like this, and you don't know him like I do. What would you say?
One, she's trying to hold on to something that's not there. Two, she's created like in her head, this is normal. You know, this is okay, which it's not. And I feel like that comes through, you know, something that has happened to her, you know, before, whether it's, you know, low self-esteem or some type of issue that these girls and also guys, like not even just girls, like it happens to guys too, but they stay in these toxic relationships because some way or the other, you know, and then some, you know, like are addicted to the drama. It sounds kind of weird, and you would be like who would be addicted to drama? But it's because of something psychological that has happened to them, that has brought them to this point that they think that they need that in their lives, or they think that that's okay, or they build it up in their head that that's something normal.
Yeah, they somehow built a tolerance.
There you go,
toward being mistreated emotionally or mistreated physically or something.
And I know people can be like, well, who's like, who, why? And that's the thing, like, it's not a normal thing. It's not something that
shouldn't be normal.
Yeah, it shouldn't be normal. It shouldn't be normal, you know, they should get help. And then when I mean they should get help, I'm not talking to put them in the psychiatric, you know, like, no, I mean, like, they need to talk to somebody, they need some guidance. But sometimes, you know, they don't even have guidance, you know. Nowadays, like, people don't even have relationships to look up to, because everybody's either getting divorced, or everybody's like they're in toxic relationships, or there's something that there's wrong things now with a lot of relationships, that people have no guidance. You know, people have nothing to like us, you know, our parents,
reference.
you know, our parents didn't have, you know, his parents didn't have a great relationship, my parents didn't have a great relationship. All around me when I was growing up, I never saw like somebody like, oh man, they have a really great relationship. I would like, you know, like people say, you know, oh, relationship goals.
Right.
You know, like there isn't really like relationship goals nowadays. Like,
yeah, it's hard. It's hard to find examples like that. Like you can make an argument, I'm sure, that, you know, to like go out and look for those things, like the phrase that you are like the product of the 5 people that you hang around with, or whatever. Like that makes sense, and I'm sure it's true, but it's difficult. You know, it's not easy for everyone to do.
Especially for people.
Sorry.
A little gargoyle woke up.
Yeah, little gargoyle woke up
from his nap. He's probably like, you guys are being loud. Okay, like I was saying, what sucks is that I feel like nowadays people in general are influenced very easily. And like throughout time, like people have always tried to influence people, whether it's by newspapers, TV shows, magazines. Remember when the reality TV? It's crazy because reality TV, all it was drama. I never liked them. It was entertaining to watch here and there, but I'm like, this is too much. I'm like, I hate this.
It's just dumb drama.
I remember in high school, people would watch Flavor of Love. And I would hear these girls talk about it in high school. And in my head, I was like, that just sounds like a bunch of problems. Like I would hear like, oh my God, blah 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 blah, and this girl, you know, hit this girl because he hit, and I'm like, that sounds like a lot of drama. And I feel like if you follow the herd, like they're trying to make you want drama, so that when you have a relationship and you have drama in the relationship, oh, you've kind of like taught your brain that it's normal, but oh, because you've seen it, because these famous people have drama, so it's okay for me to have drama.
Or all you know how to respond to that drama is with more drama. instead of, you know, actually thinking about the situation and thinking about what's good for you, what's right for you, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. All you know how to do is just react on your emotions. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
no.
so no. Don't have a baby just to
Just to fix
your
shitty
relationship.
that
Yeah.
is
Fix
going
yourself,
down the drain.
fix your relationship, then you can start thinking about kids and a family.
Mm-hmm. If both parties want to.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.